Hello and good afternoon. This is Saturday, May 13th, 2023. This is Dr. Rebecca Foster. This is Paranormal Reality TV, and we are coming live. Well, I'm coming live, but the whole team is here at the New Egypt Museum, Historical Society in New Egypt, New Jersey. So if you guys caught us live last night, it was awesome, amazing, and I'm actually up in the attic where we were talking to some children last night. It was pretty amazing. Had a little bit of an experience here a little while ago, and I'm hoping that maybe they will make a little bit of a presence while I'm here today doing a live gallery, kind of ramping up the energy here, but also giving you guys a little more information about this whole event that we're doing here in New Jersey, which has been amazing. The teams that have helped us have been amazing. Everybody who has been very accommodating to getting us here and making last night an awesome, pretty much glitch-free evening, knock on wood, right? So I'm gonna do some readings for you guys. In the meantime, if you are not following, if you are not subscribing, if you are tuning in from YouTube, great. If you're in Facebook, if you're anywhere else, head over to Twitch. Make sure that you are following and subscribing and that you are supporting the show, because this takes a lot of a concerted effort, and our viewers are, for the first time ever, able to lead an investigation and tell us what to do, where to go, how to do it. And you guys in the chat room are able to pretty much command the show. And then when you bring up some amazing, hey, do this, do that, question this, question that, if it leads to something eventful, then you're probably gonna end up in the 1 hour finished show. So join us tonight. We'll be starting approximately, I don't know, they'll correct me if I'm wrong, about 8 Eastern. We're gonna go for a few hours this evening, investigating some places and doing some things we did not do last night, so it's gonna be pretty awesome. I'm gonna be in the chat room here, and I'm going to be reading you guys there. So pay attention to this area here. We've got the REM pod, we have a choo-choo train, and we have suckers, some cars, and some stuffed animals. Now, the kids here loved the REM pod last night. They wanted it. They did not want us to take it away. Obviously, we can't leave that, but we, went out today and got a bunch of stuff for them to leave, and we'll see what happens. And a sucker. Which kid, doesn't like a giant sucker? So if you guys back there want to chime in while I'm talking and you're inside to play, touch the REM pod while we're doing our thing, and let people know you're here, okay? And yes, I know it is Mother's Day weekend, so I'm just gonna go with the flow, and whoever joins me in chat, I will do my best to read as many as possible. And it is I think, a beautiful Saturday across the country with a little bit of drizzles. So I expect people to be outside, except tonight, while we are filming. All right. So let's just take a quick, hello, Lala. I wouldn't expect it any differently for you not to be in the chat. Postit Red, you're outside. Good for you. Good for you. You are on your phone outside. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Postit Red, all right. Actually, I don't know the name, so that's great. I don't know the name. So let's grab, I wonder if the chat is different for me here. Okay, there we go. Perfect. So I'm not sure, Red, if you've ever been around for any of my readings, but for everybody else that's also watching and not chiming in, because I can see different numbers and I know that there are more than are posting. So for those of you who don't know me or don't know what I do, I am a medium, I'm a clairvoyant, and among other things, whatever God wants me to do. And I read people through the chat room randomly. Not that I don't love everyone and grateful for everyone who shows up. It is simply that I pull people randomly where the information is provided, because I don't make things up like a magical genie. I can't do that. So if I pass you up, it's not that I don't like you. It's that I don't have anything to give you at that moment, and maybe later. But if I read for you, post if it makes any sense, so that people understand what I'm talking about makes sense to you. This is really odd too, because I'm like so far away from the camera. I'm so far away from the camera, hoping, to catch things back here as well. And so I'm just gonna pull this over really quickly. Gonna make a little noise. All right. And I'm going to set this here. Hopefully I can still read it if it turns. Okay, maybe not. We'll just do that. Then I don't have to hold on to it. Perfect. Okay, so red. Let's find you. Now, what I was saying before and got highly distracted, because that's what I do, I see things in a symbolic manner. So then I will explain first what I am being shown, and then I will explain what it means. So let's see what you've got going on, shall we? I have to take these off because it blurs my other vision. All right. Okay. So red. Okay. Just seeing how things are laid out here, different environment. Just takes a moment. Otherwise it's off. I don't turn it on until I have to. So the first thing red that Spirit is showing you. Now I'm talking to your higher self. And your higher self is what is informing me of things. So when they first show you, they have you standing on this side of a bridge. And wow, I opened up my energy for this, which is a different plane actually than when I'm here talking to things here. I opened up my energy to all the dimensions, because to reach your higher self, I have to go through like 5 different dimensions. And in doing so, it's a totally different vibe in this room. Totally different vibe. It's warbly, and I'm gonna need food after this. So, totally different vibe, turning it on. Look at that. Got the shakes now. Different energy, because I'm in the when I'm just talking to things here, I'm focused on what's in this building, what's in this dimension with us. When I'm reading people, I am reading everything between here and the 5th dimension out, and considering that we're at the 0 dimension, and now everything is finding my channel, and I'm probably gonna pull a lot of things in. As long as it doesn't go home with me, I don't care. So red, you're on this side of the bridge. And interestingly enough, you've paced this space in the dirt. So the grass is missing in this place. The bridge obviously it crosses water to another side. So what the bridge represents when I'm reading people is movement from your normal comfort zone across to something that is risky or different. Possibly just so new that it can create fear. And I'm watching, and interestingly enough, it almost looks like you're wearing shackles, like you've got shackles around your ankles. And they're small, so your steps are even really tight as you make this little circle, afraid to move across the bridge. Obviously, you've been standing here for a long time. Excuse me. You have been circling and pacing, possibly out of fear. So this may not be where you want to be, because the bridge wouldn't show up if you were happy with things. The bridge is saying there's an opportunity for you to exit and change your circumstances. But because you've got these shackles, so you're feeling tied to whatever it is, you feel like you're being held back by people and situations around you, and you are obviously needing to make a change, but you don't know how. And so you are circling and pacing, and it would obviously also cause a lot of discomfort emotionally, psychically, mentally, physically, because spiritual trickles down to mental, which trickles down to physical. I can't say this little jibber jabber enough, because people start to manifest things physically, and then they're like, oh, I need to go to a medical doctor, but you fail to remember the mental aspect and the spiritual aspect, all of which like this collective of your health. So cross the bridge. Stop wondering and worrying about, if I cross the bridge, oh my gosh, all the problems no, you're not. You're over the problems. You are over them. They're not affecting you in any way. If you get down and walk through the water, then yeah, that's dumb. But you've got a bridge. cross the bridge. Whatever is on the other side means that you're basically going to have to cut the new path yourself. Don't be afraid of these things because God doesn't dangle carrots. He doesn't say, oh, look what you can't have. He's saying there's a bridge, but you have free will, so I can't make you or force you across the bridge. This might mean changing jobs, getting a divorce, moving. There's something that's going on in your life that you're afraid to make happen, so make it happen. Okay. All right. So enough of that. I know your guides, I feel like they're like, come on, move on, get on with it, Red, get on with it. They don't want you to hold off anymore. They don't want you to hold off anymore. Only you can remove the shackles. TK Oko, Takoko, 22. Okay. All right. Red, I have to remove you. You keep coming back. Hey kids, do you want to join us? I think they're outside playing. They came in for a moment, but I think they're outside playing. They'll be back later this evening. Okay, so TKOko 22. So the first thing that Spirit wants me to acknowledge for you is, and I recognize this myself, that you cannot, well, you can, but some people it's different. So for you, what they're showing me, the first thing they're putting us is I'm in a room with you, and myself, your higher self, we are in a dark room. And then it's almost as if the sun came through and it starts to like light up the room little by little. So the sun comes in and lights up the room. Highly symbolic of situations that you've been through in life to put you where you are right now. And the understanding that I have with this is that, my phone just turned off. The understanding is this. It is understanding in order to grasp the extent of light, you must first understand the depth of darkness. And this is purposeful in some people's lives who are meant to serve Spirit, to serve Yahweh. So if you've ever felt that you might be excluded or different on the outside of things, maybe you feel like you don't belong, everything is a little, I guess, I call myself a square peg. And the only reason I understand what they're showing is because they're trying to get me to, they'll show me things that help me to explain what they're symbolically talking about. Hold on a second, I'll explain this in a minute. So no matter what you do in life, regardless of what you do, this understanding that I just talked about is why this is important. The light aspect that you're not just going to have for your own faith, but also what you're going to help others with. So you would find yourself either licensed or unlicensed as a therapist or somebody who is constantly in HR, working with people all of the time, human resources, helping to guide, helping to build people up. I'm having the weirdest experience right now. So I have, like when I'm reading, when things are trying to connect with me, but they don't have the energy to cross from that dimension here all the way through to me, they'll get a grasp of me through it and then pull on me to pull themselves through. And when they do that, my eyes, especially my left eye, will start to like droop, and it becomes really hard to hold my eye open. Because they'll pull, and that's when I kind of have to disengage. Well, as I was starting to read you, all of a sudden the back of my head also and my neck started hurting, and then this part of my head started hurting. So somebody is trying to talk to me or convey a message to me as I'm reading you about my neck and my head, and they don't have the energy or the strength yet to do that. So it also makes me wonder if somebody in the chat room who I've obviously looked through is trying to communicate with someone who has committed suicide. And so I don't think that that energy is here. I think it's coming through from someone in the chat room. Yes, and thank you, Lala. Subscriptions for Twitch can be obtained for free through your Amazon Prime account. So go to Amazon Prime and search Twitch, and you can get, and the thing is though, you have to do it every month. It will only last 1 month, and then you have to renew it. So keep it up, because your support helps us. And this is all we do. This is what we do. We travel and we film and we provide you guys with paranormal content. And it's real content. You're not viewing things after it's been edited and CGI'd and music and noise and shadows have been added. You guys are taking part in the reality of the situation and seeing everything as it plays out. You are experiencing it just as we are experiencing it. And so last night, we were in the basement. JV, myself were in the basement, and Britt had decided to grab some really cool, because the windows, the basement windows have these slats in them, and they're hard to look through. So he went out with an IR, like a IR is infrared, and it's dark, so there's no flash and it can see in the dark. And he was trying to catch some really cool shots of us through the slatted windows into the basement, because it's amazing, these shots. But the problem was we saw the IR because we're in the dark, and he didn't have a walkie on him. So our biggest fear was, oh my God, somebody's followed us here. Our cars are out there, and we were worried too, because we don't want anybody going out and getting hurt. So yeah, there was that. But it was pretty cool though. The shots are very cool. So the real time freaking out part, yeah, that'll go in our bloopers, because that was pretty awesome. The light in the dark makes sense, Tico. Okay, perfect. You have 200. So you do have, so this person is attempting to come through for you then. Okay, so let me see if I can, oh, thank you, Lala. You can tap on the video above and sub right from there. Perfect, thank you, Lala, I appreciate that. So I'm just gonna call you Coco, T-Coco 22. Okay, so the energy that was coming through, pulling on me, pulling on my neck, okay, pulling on my head, and my eye. It's a male energy, and you're saying 2, so being able to separate their energies is probably best for me. But the D name comes through, like Dave or Dan comes through, and not even a voice. So no vocals yet. So this is, I think, the best thing for you to understand. The fact, people are always worried that their loved ones are in a bad place because they've committed suicide or taken their own life. And that isn't always the case. And I say always because there is a step to that process. If once a person does that and succeeds, they are taken to this place, and ultimately it looks like a room tall enough as your head. So it's gray. It is gray. And it seems like none of them are aware of each other. They are just amongst one another. And they go through a process of forgiveness. So first, before they leave here, they have to be forgiven by the people left behind, who are obviously upset and angry. And once the forgiveness occurs, then they go through the process of forgiving themselves, which we all know is one of the hardest things to do. That's why judgment of any kind is really, don't do it. Because if you're going to judge others, you're going to judge yourself. And that's what happens. So they are shown, this is what you were supposed to do. This is who you were supposed to meet. These are the children you're supposed to have. These are the things you were supposed to, this is the person you're supposed to save. And so they're shown all of this stuff that they forgot or, didn't realize they were going to do. Now they go through the self-forgiveness phase. Once they forgive themselves, they get their voice back because a lot of times they can't talk yet. It comes through like a broken cell phone signal. So they can't exactly talk. And the fact that this person, this male, is pulling on my energy means he's still in the process of forgiveness. And it may be that he's trying to forgive himself. Even just talking about him, my eye is starting to hurt again. So, and these are my near glasses, so I can't even see you guys. You're fuzzy when I do that. So that seems to be what's happening here, trying to pull my energy. I wonder, Tyler, if you are watching, on the end of the desk is the EMF pump. Can you bring that up here? I'm going to see if it reacts with anything here, and if not, I'm going to turn it on to see if this person can make it through a little bit more. Make it through energy-wise. And there we go. Okay. But the D, duh, very strong D sound. Okay. Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate it. He's coming. Do you want to try, like, put it there and just turn it on and see if anything reacts? Perfect. Nothing is going to react. Awesome. Thank you. So this is an EMF pump. It increases the electrical output. The stuff like if you're around too many electronics, people can feel anxiety because we're electrical beings. So the more electricity around, the higher EMF, the older the buildings kind of a thing, it can make people feel uneasy, dizzy, anxious, panic attacks. So the same thing goes though, if you are dealing that same energy thing. This is why it's such a fine hairline, because if you are in an older building that has funky wiring and weird lighting and strange output, EMF output, that's the same feeling you get if you have energies around you that are trying to communicate. So people freak out, oh my God, it's a ghost. And it's not always a ghost, it's just a weird EMF output from the building itself. So what this is a pump. So this actually increases the EMF around us. When there's a higher EMF, the energies are also able to pull from that electrical energy and communicate. Ow, my thumb just started hurting me. So they are also able to then pull from that energy. That's why creepy houses are so creepy, because it's hard to discern if you're not thinking critically and thinking consciously and really thinking with your frontal lobe, and you allow that amygdala, whatever, and the reptilian responses to things, then you will freak yourself out and be terrified in the dark. And it doesn't have to be that way. If you pull it all to the front, you really discern what you're dealing with and the feelings. Did I eat? Yes. Am I okay? I'm in an old building. Then it becomes a lot easier to do this stuff as well. So Lala, you said you're very sensitive to EMF. Yeah, see, some people are. If I'm this, and this is the same thing, like if you are dealing with higher EMF readings and you don't realize it, you're gonna freak out. A lot of people do. So that's what this is. It's just, I'm trying to increase, I'm putting it closer to the gentleman for T-Coco, who's trying to come through. He's actually trying to come through behind the camera. It's almost like all I can explain, that looks like a portal that he's trying to come through. And so that's that. Oh, thank you, Paranotnormal81. You're awesome. Thank you for subscribing. So, hello, Mary Grace. How are you, darling? Okay, Denise Shock. Hello, Denise. Okay, so let's go on up to Denise. Normally when I'm in the room, I can like star everybody and I can check who I've read. So Denise, let's take a peek at what you've got going on. All right, so you're up there. So Denise, let's see. So Denise, the first thing your spirit or your higher self is wanting me to talk about This feels like, I'm a medical intuitive as well. So this feels like a sacral pinch. I would actually think it comes down to the sacrum and into some form of sciatica or pinched aspect. And it feels like it runs right down the sacrum and then through my hip or right through my butt cheek. So they want me to acknowledge some good stretches, maybe a chiro appointment. Do not bend over and twist at the same time. You'll probably put yourself down. So pinched nerve, and it almost feels like at the very, maybe the like second to last lumbar before the sacrum, above the sacrum, it almost feels movable there, as if there was some kind of damage or that you've hurt your back at some point. And the space in between allows for that nerve to wedge in and out of there is what it looks like. And it just allows, it looks like, for more of a pinch. So I'm thinking you may have a little more, and I don't want to call it neuropathy, but it looks like you may have more like frayed nerves, literally, in your lower back that would lead to more back issues. Somebody at the door? Okay, can you guys confirm me? Did anybody just go out the front door or out any of the doors?
Yeah, we just opened the front door.
Okay, well, that is a good debunk then, because this door went boom, boom, like somebody just knocked on it. So, yeah. All right, yeah, so it must create a bit of a suction. So I just want to debunk that. So perfect. Denise, so that means something. Excellent. So I'm wondering, that kind of thing when you're dealing with nerves, you have to be able to somehow talk to a doctor about what they can do to help resheath part of that nerve. And I don't know what the technology is for that. I don't know what the treatment is for that. Other than, is there a vitamin? Like, can you look it up online? Are there vitamins? Are there supplements? Are there things that you can take to help resheath and protect the nerves? And I'm not sure what that is, but it's almost like having a wire and then having part of the wire cracked or broken, and that line in there exposed. And you touch it, you get zapped. So normally you just use some electrical tape and you wrap that sucker and it's good. But what do you do to nerves? And I'm thinking, cortisol shots, what do they do to increase the sponginess in between the vertebra? I'm not sure. So talk to your physician about what can I do. Again, if you're going to stretch, great, but do not twist and stretch. Always bend and stretch and slowly come up, making sure that the nerves don't get pinched. If you bend over real quick and stretch your whole back and stand up, you may pinch that nerve inadvertently. Okay. So Mary Grace, you had to get all the wall outlets rewired because it was affecting your daughter's. Yeah, I'm telling you. And it absolutely is true. The EMF that a house puts out, not only will it feed the energies in the house like this, but it will also cause the people to have panic and anxiety, stress out. And that's why also having all the electrical things in your room, sleeping with your phone by your bed, all that Wi-Fi. If you've got teenagers who have the TV and the computer and the cell phone and all the rest in their room and they're freaking out, remove it. Just make the room their calm space, their serene place. Nothing Wi-Fi in there. And oh my gosh, taking it out I'm sure would create a bit of a heart attack as well. But if you nothing Wi-Fi should be in young children's rooms either. A lot of people put baby monitors in there, which is, what it is. But it's a different frequency, I believe. Maybe different ones. Maybe there's Wi-Fi related ones now, but I would not have Wi-Fi anything in a child's room, an infant's room. As they get older, it's a little more difficult with cell phones and the such, but limit those things. The higher the electrical around them, the harder it is for them to get a good night's rest. All right. So Mary Grace, I'm going to pick you up and shake you off because you always have got this whole thing going on. It's your first initial presence. And I'm going to shake you off. Is Robbie here? Robbie, are you back with me? Robbie, can you play with the REM pod real quick? Can you touch the REM pod for me that you like so much? Sarah? Can you touch the REM pod for me? You see it? Like this. See? So for those who don't know, the REM pod is a theremin device, and thank you. Can you make it go purple? I think the one over there is purple. If you touch it, you can make it go purple again. Can you do that? Sarah? Okay, so it's a theremin device that is originally was used in music. It's used in music, and it detects humidity changes, temperature changes, vibrational changes, and now it's used in paranormal things, right? But it's been around a long time. It's just the device has been realized to detect other energies, hence it's now used in paranormal stuff. All right, so Mary Grace, I will tell them another dad joke. I will tell them another dad joke. All right, I have another joke later on that you guys are gonna have to stick around because I've really debated about telling it because it's kind of bad. It's kind of bad. It's actually bad. It's a bad joke. Not like, oh, that was bad, Rebecca. It'll be like, that was a bad joke. Can you even tell that on TV? Yeah, well, that I'm gonna do tonight when all the children are asleep. Okay, I hope children are asleep when I'm telling the joke. But I'll come up with another good dad joke because they laughed their heinies off at that one last night. Did they not? They did. The chicken. Remember that, you guys? The chicken joke? All right. I think a lot of them are outside. I know there's at least 2 hanging out, but they're outside. All right, so Mary Grace. The first thing your guides are showing you, you're actually up on the beach. Okay, so for everybody who's never heard of this before, the beach is where my guides have taught me to understand them. The beach represents safety, security, and grounding. Water represents issues and opportunities, depending on how it presents. And there's a whole bunch of different places on the beach. So if I'm sitting here, the water is behind me, this whole beach area. There is a pathway up the dune that leads to a fenced-in area, and then it goes over the horizon and down into an interdimensional aspect of a person's life, depending on how old the soul is. And then up here, there is an apple tree on this edge. There is a forest. Walking this way, there is a garden, a house, a rainforest, and behind that is a desert. So, Mary Grace, you are standing underneath. We're up on the top of the dune, and I'm standing behind you, and you are 1, 2, 3 apples that you pull down. So 3 being the 3rd of the month, 3 days from now, could be March, maybe 3 months, but it is talking about purchasing a vacation or a trip. It feels like a trip that turns into, so it's purposeful. There's a purpose behind going, but it's fun. So it's not like you're just going on a vacation. You're going for a purpose, and then you're going to make fun of it, make fun of the trip. So it would be like a destination wedding or a reunion or something, and then you're going to make fun of the time that you're there. But it's with a 3, and enjoy it, splurge on it. And again, when I'm reading too, I'm plus or minus of this very moment. So it could have just happened, or it'll be about to happen that you're planning it. So that's very cool. Love that. All right. Let's see here. Hello, Pet K222. Hello, Yarn Doll. How are you? Okay. Yarn Doll, let's see what you've got going on. All right. All right. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm sweating bullets up here. It's kind of hot. Whew. It's kind of hot. Man, I wish you guys would come touch that. I wish you would play with the REM pod. I think you would like that. Let me do something really quickly here. Dad jokes. Let me just find one really quick. Corny dad jokes. Let's find a good one, shall we? A quick one. Maybe they'll like it. What was that? Hey, you guys. This is for everyone. This is a real knee slapper. What did the horse say when he fell down? Help, I've fallen and I can't giddy up. Oh, God. Hello? Are you not listening? Giddy up, get it? Giddy up, horsey. It's not working. That was a bad joke too, guys. That was bad. That's too new. They would never understand that. Okay, farm kids. What do you call a horse that's well balanced? Stable. You know, get it? Lives in a stable? I'm done. I'm not telling any more jokes. The reason they liked the chicken one last night is because I went, because. All right, I'm not telling any more bad jokes. I'm not doing it. I'll tell dirty jokes, but I'm not telling any bad jokes. Let's get back on a Twitch, shall we? Perfect. And I'm back in the chat room. So Yarn Doll, let's see what you have going on. Gosh, you know when kids make up jokes? Like when kids make up jokes, they're really bad. That's almost like what they're trying to do right now. And it's funny because they're not physically, they're not here. It's like they're a dimension or two out, which is interesting for me scientifically, because that would mean that this being, again, zero, the zero dimension where we are, if they were here with us here, it would be a physical aspect or manifestation, audible. They'd be standing right here. But the fact that I'm hearing them like 2 or 3 out, I'm assuming, and I find it funny that they're in there because I'm pretty sure that's a newer addition. And I find it funny that that's where they're hanging out, because it wouldn't have been there when they were here. You guys, I'm gonna do something really quickly. Okay, I'm gonna touch this as it's gonna go off. Okay, I'm gonna move this really quick. Now, where is the orange car? All right, I'm gonna put that orange car there. I just wanted to see something really quickly. All right, now it's in the house where you guys would be hanging out, okay? You can play with the car. There you go. You can play right there on the floor with it now. There we go. Now, I want to point something out. If I key this microphone right now, this microphone, JV would be like, it's not a mic, Rebecca, it's a walkie-talkie. He says it just like that too, just so you guys know. He's like, it's a walkie-talkie. If I key this right, thank you. If I key this, it will set off this cat, it will set off the train, it will set that off, it will set everything off. I want to go in here, but it's full of animal poop. So I'm wondering if, because this is open, they hang out here, but this is where where this wall is, this is where the real action is. That car was up there earlier and it was moved. It was on the floor. So And see how it's pink? Did you see that? Can you guys see that it was pink closest to the car? Sarah. Sarah, can you move the car for me? Just like, can you like flick? Can you move the car? Just a little bit. Can you flick it a little bit? Kind of like when you touched my hand. Robbie, William. Can you flick it again? So there was William, Sarah, Robbie, and Mary Marie. Oh, that's so cool. I love that. I'm going to put this over here by you guys real quick. Okay. Let's see how close I can get it. Did you see that? Did you guys just see that? There was a shadow. There was a knock over here on the wall. And then as I turned, right in front of this light, there was a shadow. I don't know if you guys caught that. I'm going to set this here for you guys so you can use it to manifest things, okay? Here, I want to show you guys something really quickly because now I'm caught up with these children. Now watch, I'm going to key this. Watch what happens. And so this mic, if somebody were doing this, if I were doing anything to set that off, that would be going off, the cat would be going off, all of it. So it's not anybody doing it. Well, I'm going to keep, yes, touch the car for sure. Push the car, whatever you want to do to it.
Rebecca, it's a walkie-talkie.
It's a walkie-talkie. That's it. See, that's how he says it. He's like, it's a walkie-talkie. It's not a mic, Rebecca. It's a walkie-talkie. He sounds like Edith from All in the Family when he's talking to me. All right. That is so cool, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Love it. And let's go back up. We had some people who came in. Mary. Mary, is that you that's playing with the car? Is that who's here with us right now? Is this Mary? Is it Sarah? No, Sarah's older. I think Sarah's older. Sarah, I thought Mary's what? Is Mary 3? I don't remember. Is Mary's 3. Okay. Perfect. Do you like the dolls? How about the sucker? Do you like the sucker that you got? Do you like the sucker? Love that. So amazing. And you like the car. I know you love that orange car. Yes. I know you love. I know you love the orange car. My name is Rebecca. Yes, I have children. No, you cannot go home with anybody here. I have to get on a plane and it just won't even work. No, you can't go home with, no, you can't go home with me. No, No. All of us, most of us, no. I could sit here all day. Can you not sit here all day and do this? It's amazing. Okay, so you guys, tonight, about 8-ish Eastern, we're going to be going live from here for about 3 or 4 hours, and we are at the New Egypt Museum, the Historical Society in New Egypt, New Jersey, and get into the chat through Twitch. Subscribe, support our show. It allows us to go so many more places and present you guys with real paranormal reality. And you have the opportunity to then, oh, I just got touched on my leg. You have the opportunity to be presented on the show as well, in which case then you'll be signing an NDA and you'll be able to sign a waiver that we can use your likeness. So make sure your little Twitch doodad avatar has your face in it. So then the whole world will be able to see your face in your comment. If it leads to something eventful that we are told to go into the basement, or you say, hey, ask this question, and it leads to something, then yeah, it will definitely show up on the show. And follow us, because we have got so many incredible places lined up right now, all the way through October, and we're on as much as we can. And the more support we have, the more likely we will be able to go more places and present you guys with more live streams. And when it's finished product, after everything is edited, you will be alerted that where the program will be available for viewing. And you'll know exactly, like, hey, I watched the live. I know what happens here. So you guys are a major part of this success. We need you. We can't do it. We're just facilitating this for everyone who wants to do a paranormal investigation and maybe can't travel or doesn't have the ability and the time, the funds, whatever the case is, you're a part of this. We do get to know you. We are so grateful for all of you, thankful. So follow, subscribe, support, and join us tonight at about 8:30 Eastern on Twitch. And we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. I'm Dr. Rebecca Foster.